All right, buddy. I'm back with news from a week ago, likely. But still, I wanted to make a video about this and make a little bit of speculation, a little bit of a prediction before things have started to happen officially, even though no one knows if they will. What I'm talking about is Phil finally going on Lolcow Live. I think nowadays it's more of a possibility than ever before. I think it's just a matter of a couple of slow streams, and this guy is going to get ready and show up at Lolcow Live. But things aren't as simple as they seem. So I'm looking at this clip here, and I'm not going to watch the whole thing because it's 7 minutes of Lolcow Live, and this is way more than any doctor would advise you to sit through. So let's just watch a little bit, get the gist of it, and then I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen and how Phil, in particular, is trying to lay things out so it works out in his favor.
DSP, we want him on this week. I tell Boogie and Wings, hit up Phil, see if he can make it on this week, right? Phil responds to Jordy saying, "Oh, you ignored me the entire time you weren't on the LCU, and now you're hitting me up now that you're back on the LCU. If you want me on the Lolcow Live, have Keemstar hit me up directly. He has contact with me. Don't have his employees reach out to me." And we were just dumbfounded by that fucking response. So I reached out to him directly, and we went over it yesterday on yesterday's show, if you didn't see it. And at the end of the show, I went to go redirect to Phil. Now, I'm going to be honest. I know Phil has multiple channels. I don't know which ones they are.
Okay, this is kind of off topic, but Keemstar accidentally forwarded everybody from his stream to the main DSP troll stream, which is Raw Phil.
And so when I went to go set up a redirect to send it to Phil, a channel popped up called Raw Phil.
Let's skip to a part in the future where we actually talk about his feature on the show.
On you, buddy.
That's why they criticize Phil overly, because they are pieces of shit themselves. So they got
thank you, fake cancer man.
Make themselves feel better by attacking some other motherfucker.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mr. Tipples. That's some great insight here.
When she was like 250 pounds.
Okay, let me just say this.
Oh, and this, now they're talking about his wife being fat. I think I'm going to link this whole clip in the description because it's awesome. But this is not really what the video is about, so I'm just skipping over that shit.
That his wife was ugly. I'm like, what are you doing?
I said she was.
Yes. So here's what the idea is. As you're going to get the gist of it if you watch the whole clip, but we don't have fucking time for that. This is just a silly little video. So here's the idea. Keemstar wants content. He knows DSP is good content for Lolcow Live. He knows DSP being on Lolcow Live is going to bring a bunch of new people watching Lolcow Live, including the DSP detractors who are going to clip it and talk about it and pick it apart and so on and so forth. However, there's a problem. DSP doesn't want to come on and talk about drama. So he wants to come on and talk about a hamburger or maybe a video game that came out in 1998, or maybe a Street Fighter, which is his most ranked player. And obviously, Keemstar doesn't want that because this fucking sucks as content. And obviously, you guys can probably assume how it's also going to play out. Keemstar and the rest of the Lolcows, they're going to have like a little Lolcow support group and talk about how trolls are mean and evil. And actually, the trolls themselves hate their own lives and not the Lolcows. And the trolls are only milking them for profit and views. And that's pretty much what I see it going to be. But that's not really enough for Keemstar. He wants DSP to talk about drama. So here's what I think is actually the grand scheme of things, what Phil is trying to do. If you saw recently on one of the screenshots that someone took of his PC, one of the recent folders was a folder of screenshots relating to the Kino Casino snakening saga, where they talk shit about Keemstar. Now, what would make Phil revisit those screenshots and open that folder again recently if it's not Lolcow Live? What I think is probably going to happen, or what I think Phil is trying to make happen, is instigating a fight between Kino Casino and Lolcow Live, because they already don't like each other from what I've gathered. He wants to show up as a special guest, essentially what he was during the Review Tech USA June the King React video when he went on Kino Casino. He wants to replicate that format and replicate that success. That's his idea. Because Keemstar is pretty open that he's going to send people to give Phil money. He's going to do the whole song and dance, the same thing he does to Boogie and Wings. He's going to hype them up and defend them and make them look good and so on and so forth. And Phil wants that. But Phil doesn't want to show up and be a nobody and just sit there and talk about his trolls. So what he wants to be is the big hero. He wants to show up and be like, oh, I'm going to give you all the spicy gossip. And I'm going to tell you about how Triple P wanted to drug me when I went to see Hogan with him. And a bunch of other like made up shit. I don't think Keemstar really wants that beef or cares about it from what I've seen personally. But I do think this is the way that DSP is planning to make it and what he's been pushing for behind the scenes. So he's not going to be the guy that beefs with Kino Casino. He's going to be a part of like a proxy war. He's going to instigate the fight, get the people talking. He's going to walk away with his bag of dents and his profits and the people that Lolcow Live sent to him. And everybody else, they're just going to be fighting because fuck them. He doesn't give a fuck about them. And he doesn't want to commit to the drama. He's not the guy to join the Lolcow extended universe, whatever fuck that they're calling it. He thinks he's above it. He thinks he's above all those people. So he wants to play them. He wants to manipulate them into fighting with somebody else so he can profit and get some views out of it. And also simultaneously, quote unquote, not doing drama. Because he's going to make some mental gymnastics about how this is not really him doing drama. He's just like talking about stuff that everybody knows. You know, the regular stuff. So yes, that's the conclusion. I think it's a matter of time before DSP goes on Lolcow Live. Because Keemstar wants him on. They've already made up. They kissed. Everything is wonderful between them. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen someday. So get ready for that. That's my official prediction. As you know, out of all the predictions that I've got right, they're all right. Never guessed anything wrong, ever. You can't find it. You can't prove that I did. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Stay sway.